Hello and welcome, everyone. As always, I welcome you all to the aftermarket analysis session. This aftermarket analysis session is about Nifty and Bank Nifty of the Indian market, where after the market closes, we look at where the buyers came in, where the sellers appeared, and basically how the footprint gave confirmations today. If you are new, want to learn order flow, or want to learn how to use GoCharting properly, you can join this daily webinar at 5 p.m. in the evening. You will get the link to this webinar on GoCharting's Telegram and Discord community before 5 p.m. Also, if you are using GoCharting at that particular time, you can access the webinar by clicking on it inside the notifications in the top right corner. Okay, there are a lot of useful things inside this notification. For example, whenever we upload a video on YouTube, you will get a notification for it. Okay, we have just launched a new referral program. You will get a notification for that as well. You can go here and click on Learn More to check it out. Okay, all important notifications also come here, including those for webinars. Okay, in any case, if you are not able to join the live webinar, you will find the recording of this webinar on the GoCharting YouTube channel. Okay. So now, let's see the confirmation from the volume profile. That is, what kind of confirmation the volume profile gave us yesterday. Okay. Yesterday, Nifty gave quite a few roller coaster rides. Okay, during that roller coaster ride, these volume profile nodes were formed here. Two nodes were formed. The first node is this one, and the second node is this one. Okay, the VPOC zone and volume node of the first node was this, and the second was this. In any case, if it broke on the upside, then yesterday's high was this for us. If it broke on the downside, then there was this volume node. And this zone was quite an important zone because if we look at the entire swing, the VPOC zone of the range that was formed was also this. Okay. Okay, so these were the simple levels of the volume profile. There's no rocket science here. First of all, note down yesterday's volume profile, and then if it breaks the ranges of yesterday's volume profile, then on the upside and downside, look at the previous volume nodes. Okay. Okay, so now we are looking at how the order flow has given us certain confirmations on these same volume profiles. Where did the buyers come in? Where did the sellers come in? And how did everything happen? Okay, before you learn to read the footprint properly, you should know what delta is. Because with the help of delta, we are going to read the footprints here. This is the first candle. Okay, these are the footprints of this candle. I am using a cluster chart and my tick size is around 80. The tick size of Nifty, which used to be, say, 0.5, has now increased quite a lot. So, if we keep the tick size around 80 because of this, it shows a very good order flow. This is its footprint. Okay, on the right side of the multiplier in this footprint, we have the buyers. On the left side, we have the sellers. For once, what we do is, we add up all the buyers. Okay, we have added up all the buyers. Suppose the total of all the buyers comes to around 1 lakh here, and the plus sign denotes buyers, okay. And then we have added up the sellers. Suppose the total for the sellers comes to 1,05,000, 1,15,000. Let's take 1,15,000 as the minus value, okay. If we subtract these two, what will we get? 15,000. Which one is higher? Seller is higher. Subtract buyer from seller, simple. The same delta also gave us this confirmation. Okay, minus 15,000. These values are not real. We just took them once to understand what delta is.
Okay.
We call this delta a negative delta. Negative delta simply means that there are more sellers by this much quantity. Now, like we saw the delta of this candle, it's inside the green box and the value is how much? 32,000, 33,000, 32,000, okay. It's inside the green box and there is no negative sign. So that means it's a positive delta. Okay, in this candle, there are more buyers as compared to sellers. This is what delta means. There are two types, negative and this one, positive. Positive means here we are talking about direct buyers, that there are so many more buyers.
Okay.
Now, pick any candle at all. You picked this one, looked at the delta. There are quite a lot more sellers, so in this candle, sellers are in majority. Picked this candle. Even though the candle is red, what confirmation did we get here? That inside this candle, there are actually quite a lot more buyers. By looking at the delta, within a few seconds, we can tell for any candle who is more powerful inside that candle, who has more strength, buyers or sellers.
Okay.
What will we do now? Like here is the first candle, here is the second candle, okay, here is the fifth candle, and here is this candle, here is this candle, here is this candle. Look at the delta. Look at their values. 10,000, 3,000, 7,000, 6,000, 17,000, 15,000. These are very low values. We are talking about both positive and negative together. And then look at this candle. 57,000, 57,000, okay, around 30,000, around 32,000, around 42,000, around 42,000. There are some candles whose delta value is very high. So it means that the candles with higher delta basically have more buying and selling happening within them. The candles with lower delta will have less buying and selling within them. So what is beneficial for us is to follow those candles in which there has been more buying and selling and to follow the delta of those candles.
Okay.
So what we will do is, we will pick those candles which have a heavy delta. Then we will read the footprints of only those candles here. Like the first candle, usually, in the first candle, we see a lot of buying and selling every day, but today there was very little. Okay, next candle, even in the next candle, it was less. The third candle was the one in which we saw some light selling. The fourth candle was the one where, till now, we got the highest delta, which was 57. Okay, as we get higher than this or somewhere around this, we will keep reading only those candles. Like in this candle, we saw a significant negative delta. What did the delta indicate? There are more sellers, then we jumped to that candle, sorry. Delta showed that there are more sellers, so we went to the seller's side of that same candle. Why did we go? Because the delta is indicating that there are more sellers, and we identified those zones where the maximum selling has happened, which are the zones where the most selling has taken place. Look at this. What did the delta indicate? There has been more selling. We jumped to the footprint of that same candle and checked those zones where the most selling happened. These are the zones where the maximum selling has taken place. Just look, 3,500, 6,000, 18,000, and then 45,000 selling is the highest, and then 34,000 selling. So this was the zone where the most selling happened. And if we read the footprint of the next candle even slightly, there was quite a bit of selling here as well.
Okay.
Selling happened, and then what confirmation did the next candles give? That boss, selling did happen here, but in the next candle, the price went up. So that means the selling in this candle got absorbed here. Okay, now this very selling will, in some way, worked as a confirmation for us to go long. Okay, and when did this selling get absorbed? The most important zone from yesterday, right? It was yesterday's volume node as well as the volume node for the last few sessions, and it is exactly in that zone that we got this confirmation. Okay, moving ahead, if we look, this candle has a good delta of 32K of buying, meaning the selling was absorbed and a decent number of buyers came in. The price has been held right there. No seller is interested. Look at this 9,500, 10,000. These are very low values. These are the values of normal candles. Since the market is open right now, there will be some buying and selling happening. Okay, so these are very low values. Now look at this. Once it tried to break this selling absorption zone here. And then what happened? Buyers came back in again. See, buying of 46,000, buying of 26,000, buying of 24,000, buying of 70,000, all back to back. It means as soon as the sellers made an attempt to take it below this zone, again an aggressive buyer stepped in here. If you saw this candle, what happened to the delta again? So again, the selling was absorbed. Even in this candle, buyers came in. This zone held. Here too, it tried to break down once. But again, buyers came in. The same zone was held. There was no selling interest seen so far. Okay, there was some selling at 20. But the next candle broke all the previous candles' selling zones, and then there was an upside movement. Okay, with quite a good amount of buying at 24. If we look at the maximum delta, it's 32. Again, the same zone held, it's holding pin to pin, pin to pin. Okay, if I do it like this. Again, the same zone came, got tested without any selling, and again there was an upside movement. Now, what happened here is that some selling took place. Just look at this. There was selling of 96, and if we look at the footprint, this was the particular spot where the most selling happened. But this selling, these sellers, meaning the selling that happened inside this candle. If we look at the next candle, the very next candle broke this selling zone. So this means that a selling attempt was made, and all of this selling attempt was completely absorbed by the limit buyers. Now, who were these limit buyers? Go to the GoCharting YouTube channel and search for what is limit buyers. The entire concept will be explained to you very clearly there. Aggressive sellers made another attempt by selling, but once again, the limit buyers absorbed everything there and trapped the price at that level. Okay. Finally, the market reached the resistance zone. Alright, how did it all happen? There was confirmation that the selling was absorbed and aggressive buyers entered. There was one candle that created a bit of trouble in breaking it, but still, within that same zone, the selling absorption zone, aggressive buyers came in and the upside was held, the upside was maintained. Okay, again, it came to the same place. There was a slight upside movement as well, and then after 3 p.m., there was some light buying and selling in that zone. After 3 p.m., the order flow isn't that much because people start closing their positions. Okay, so if we look at Nifty today, there weren't too many movements. One good thing was that right here, between the two big volume nodes from yesterday, the first one and the second one, Nifty remained stuck in between them and kept moving within that range. Along with that, we also got some confirmation. What confirmation did we get? Selling absorption. There was a bit of trouble once, but then buyers came in. It held that same zone, held on to that zone, and finally touched it here. After that, there was no major movement. This was the only moment of today. You people can't capture these movements because they happen very quickly in the opening range. Okay, from here, there was an upside movement and then again an upside from here. Okay, this was today's quick analysis of Nifty. Now, whatever questions you all have, please unmute yourself and ask.